Today we're going to talk a little bit about getting organized, doing that sort of midsummer check-in, and making sure that you are progressing with your book the way that you want. You have a story to tell, but you don't know where to start. Let me show you how to free your story. I teach you how to write and how to dig deep in your soul to release your story and make a difference in the world. If we're just meeting, I am Julia Amante. I'm a women's fiction author, and I give you some writing tips on Fridays. This breaks up my week and helps me to connect with other people, other writers who are also working on their stories. So welcome. Today what I want to just talk about is, again, just taking sort of this little break in kind of midsummer here and say, how are we doing? How are we doing with our stories? Are you working on getting organized? For me, I've been working on my next novel. My goal is to get that first rough draft finished by the end of at least by the end of July, maybe early August. I plan to take just a short trip in August, just before I start teaching again. So come August, mid-August, I go back to the university to my students and spend some time the next semester getting to know my new students, helping them to write. So what I am teaching them is communications and business writing. So it's not novel writing. Too bad for them, because I think they would like novel writing probably more than business writing, but they are business students, so they get to learn how to create proposals and those kind of fun things. Again, my goal is to finish writing my book by the end of the summer. And that way, when I go back to teaching, I'm going to be doing just some of the edits. I'm behind because I was really hoping to be completely finished with many of my drafts by like August, September of this year. And I'm not. So this is, a good thing for you to see that a lot of times we have our goals and we do our best to meet them, but sometimes life gets in the way. And I had the first half of this year just crazy stuff happening that I've mentioned in other videos. I had a flood in one of my homes, and I had to travel out of state to go take care of that, and had major reconstruction. And it really occupied a lot of my time and brain power and creativity and all of that. It just, was a lot of work, aside from, work and normal stuff, and then some family issues and people that were sick. And it was just, very, very, very intense beginning of the year and end of last year. So I'm behind, but that's okay. I still hope to, in the fall, be able to do my edits and possibly release my novel next spring. So what are you doing, and how can you move forward with your novel? So if there are things that you can do. So one of the things I want to discuss was just organization, just organizing. So I might scan my room here with the camera in a few minutes so that you can see that I'm still trying to get reorganized and from the last semester, where I have stacks of paperwork I need to file. I have just messy things that need to be put back where they go, and just kind of to fix my office a little bit so that I'm not starting a new semester with a mess. And but I'm also not wanting to spend too much time doing this now, because I really want to focus on writing. But organization is good. Trying to get organized so that you feel comfortable in your writing space is something that it's worth taking a little time to do. Also, getting organized as far as your story. So I just finished making quite a few videos on plotting and getting organized that way. That is another thing that you might want to think about doing, is just going and saying, okay, I'm going to get organized. I'm going to make sure that I know where I'm going with this story. I want to make sure that I have my major plot points figured out, and that at least I have a brief, a sketch or a roadmap or a recipe or whatever, image you want to think about, so that you have that to start with. So wherever you are in your story, just think about that organization. How can I make sure my space is welcoming and that I have a place to write. And then how can I make sure that my story is organized, that I have a brief plot, that I have maybe a sketch somewhere, that I have something to guide me as I move through the story. And then the third way is just to organize your day a little bit better. So if you have a planner, if you have a way to organize your day so that you are making sure that you have time to write, making sure that you're leaving some space, also some space to think about the story. So what I've been doing is waking up in the morning a little bit earlier, which is kind of nice in the summertime because we do have the sun rising a little earlier and things stay, the day lasts a little longer. So I'm getting up a little bit earlier so I have time to really think about what it is that I want to write that day, even though I've left the night before saying, okay, this is where I'm at. I kind of know where I'm going to start, but just thinking about the story a little bit. I've gotten up early. I've also just gone for a swim. And as I'm swimming, I'm thinking about, okay, what's going to happen? The other day, I went for a drive. So just taking a little time, right? I went to go get a donut, which was great. I haven't had a donut in like 6 months. And so I probably shouldn't have had that one. But as I was driving, people are probably looking at me thinking I'm crazy, but I'm driving and thinking and saying, talking to myself, saying, okay, he's at this point now. What has to happen? What part of my novel am I on? Is this a major turning point that I didn't write in my plot? Should I add that, right? So I'm just thinking about the story as I'm driving. I'm talking to myself and trying to get that mentally ready so that when I sit down, I can start writing. So having that calendar for the day and saying, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of thinking time here in the morning or at the end of the day. Maybe at the end of the day, I'm going to have a little bit of time just to think about this, where I want to go. Am I on track? And then, of course, making sure that the rest of your day is organized. So organize your space, organize your story, and organize your day so that you have time in your schedule to continue to write. Summer can be kind of crazy, so I'm lucky and grateful that I'm not working during the summer at the university so that I can focus on writing. You might still be working, and if you are, other things might be happening too, right? Because the summer tends to be busy. Might have kids at home that need to do things, so make sure that you plan a little bit of time for the writing and for getting your writing goals done. Okay, so I hope this helps. Again, today I thought that I'm just going to make a quick video on stopping thinking about your story, getting organized, and moving forward right through the summer into the second half of the year so that you are where you want to be at the end of the year. All right, I hope that this has been helpful. Please come back next week for my next writing tip. Like and share the video, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.